How cool would it be to be frozen and then brought back to life in the future? Okay, to be honest, maybe it sounds a little bit creepy. Do you have an incurable illness? No problem. Scientists can just freeze your body, putting you into a cryosleep and thaw you out after the cure for your currently incurable disease has been discovered. Maybe in 30, 70, or even 500 years. Who knows? We've seen this in many sci-fi movies, but what is the real science behind this process, and will our technology ever be advanced enough to make it a reality? And more importantly, what would be the consequences? The concept of using cryogenesis as a form of preservation is actually currently being used in medicine, like how doctors preserve a human organ before use for surgery, or when neurosurgeons lower the patient's body temperature to operate on aneurysms without rupturing any blood vessels nearby, or when fertility clinics freeze human embryos until they're needed. But freezing an entire human body is a completely different story. Surprisingly, cryonics has been practiced as early as 1967, starting with the body of Dr. James Bedford. But I mean, freezing something is easy. The big problem is we still don't know how to bring the bodies back to life. The largest company performing this service is the Alcor Life Extension Foundation, which currently has 149 members cryopreserved as whole bodies or brains in liquid nitrogen, usually at -196 degrees Celsius. The company operates under hopes of restoring these people to full health in the future when the hypothetical new technology or treatment has been developed. As you can probably guess, many people strongly oppose this idea. According to critics, companies that perform cryonics are just feeding false hope into people's dreams of immortality and then capitalizing on it. These companies still have no stronghold in cryonics, and even scientists have never performed a successful restoration of life. Minimum funding levels for Alcor are currently $200,000 for full body preservation and $80,000 for just the brain, and these amounts are to be paid upon death. This also doesn't include additional surcharges and pricey annual membership fees. The breakthrough in cryonics depends on two factors: improving the freezing process and advancing the recovery when thawing. The thawing process is extremely difficult because if the procedure is not done at exactly the right temperature and speed, the cells could turn into ice crystals and the body will essentially be destroyed. Damages can be avoided if scientists carefully regulate the temperature and use different types of cryoprotectants. Cryobiologists are hoping that with nanotechnology, the revival process will be someday possible. Nanotechnology uses microscopic machines to operate single atoms to make or repair human cells and tissues. They are planning to use nanotechnology to repair the cells that were damaged from aging or disease, as well as those that were damaged during cryonic suspension. But how exactly is cryonics performed? The moment a doctor announces the death of a patient, the company that the patient originally made a contract with will officially take over. The company's emergency response team will stabilize the body by making sure that the brain is getting enough oxygen and blood to preserve minimal function until the body reaches the suspension facility. During transport, the body is placed in a pack of ice and injected with anticoagulant, a substance that prevents blood from clotting. Cryopreservation actually occurs in nature for animals like reptiles, amphibians, and worms. Nematode worms are even able to regain some of their memories after being frozen. However, human tissue cannot just be frozen and thawed. Thus, the aim of cryobiology is to understand and minimize the potential damages. Not only could the tissues rupture during the freezing process, irreversible damage will be done to cells and tissues if there are any temperature fluctuations during the thawing process. Simple substances like sugar and starch are used to alter the viscosity and protect cell membranes. Scientists also use dimethyl sulfide, glycerol, ethylene glycol, and propanediol to prevent intracellular ice formation and recrystallization during the thawing process. All biochemical reactions are slowed once entering the low temperature and effectively stopped. Reviving a complete human body is obviously not an easy feat, as you would have to get all the organs to start functioning simultaneously. Cryopreserved and vitrified cells, as well as simple tissues, are already regularly thawed and transplanted in humans. Work has also started on cryopreservation of basic body parts such as fingers and legs. Some complex organs such as the kidney, liver, and lungs have also been cryopreserved, thawed, and successfully retransplanted onto animals. And while human transplantation currently relies on chilling the organs rather than freezing them, there is a solid case for developing cryopreservation of whole organs for therapeutic purposes. However, even if this technology exists one day in the future, it would require many strict legal restrictions, not to mention raise many ethical and moral concerns that must be addressed. So, what do you think? If this technology was made possible, would you want to do it? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Thanks for watching!